Welcome back to This Week in Sheffield with the latest news and events from around the city and our university. I'm Husicka and today we'll be focusing on Sheffield's culture with food, music and the arts. Stay tuned for the top stories. From underground gigs to new sounds emerging across the city, we'll uncover if Sheffield's musical spirit is still as strong as its legendary past, or if the scene is struggling to keep up. Wingfest has been celebrating chicken wings for 10 years now, and for the first time last week it came to Sheffield. Held at the popular Pedlar Market, this event was like no other. Sheffield's Off the Shelf Festival returned this October, bringing top literary talent from around the world. With a wide range of events, there is something for every book lover. Stay tuned for these stories coming up on This Week in Sheffield. And also in this episode is our first segment of Student Spotlight, focusing on Sheffield students and the unique things they do. The main goal is to share people's experiences and to give them a platform to talk about what they are doing. Our first story today looks at Sheffield's music scene and its legendary past, from the pioneering days of synth pop with a Human League to Britpop icons like Pulp and the Arctic Monkeys. But today, the scene has shifted, with local music organisations and independent artists working twice as hard to put Sheffield back on the map. Arco Dutta reports.
The success of bands like Arctic Monkeys, Pulp, Def Leppard is a testament to the once brilliant and vibrant music of Sheffield. But long gone are the days of rock and roll, and Sheffield has slowly faded into musical obscurity. So what is the current state of the Steel City's once unmatchable music? I'm here outside Sheffield's most famous music venue, the Leadmill, where the likes of Arctic Monkeys, Oasis, Georgia Smith have previously stopped by and mesmerised the city's music fanatics. This is also where Slam Bars, a Sheffield-based music organisation, hosted their biggest event of the year, Slam Bars Reloaded.
You say loaded, reloaded. Okay, make some noise for yourself, let's go.
So Slam Bars is a live performance and artist development organisation. We've been doing it for about 2 years. We develop artists through studio time, music videos, mentorship, a collaborative event, so i.e. the Mobos, i.e. Tracks, i.e. the Leadmill, and other organisations around Sheffield.
There's also the whole stock prize, so each artist will win a music video as well. Make some noise, these are good prizes.
We had the opportunity to talk to some of the artists performing on the night to get their thoughts on being an artist in Sheffield.
It's absolutely amazing. The community is very, very supportive. Everyone supports each other, everyone bigs each other up, and I'm really happy to be in this scene.
It's really lively, pretty lively. You just need to know the right people. You get, we just need to know the right people, and yeah, it's really nice. It's really, really bubbly, really lively. I love the setting, yeah.
We talked to musicians from the University of Sheffield to hear their thoughts on the music scene.
What Sheffield lacks at the moment is some sort of medium to large size venues so bigger touring bands can visit. But I don't think that has a huge effect on the local scene.
There's so many bands like starting out in Sheffield that it just sort of feels like a big like community. And I think it's quite cool that the North has something like that, because it feels a lot of the time like everything's centralised in London. I just hope we get a bit more sort of like diversity. I think it is a very like indie city, but other than that I think it's headed in a really good direction.
From the looks of it, the hunger of Sheffield's music artists is immeasurable, and their struggle to make a name for themselves in an industry that is anything but kind to its underdogs reflects a resilience and passion that fuels the city's creative heartbeat. It is through the work of organisations like Slam Bars that musicians who previously felt that their postcode denied them the opportunity to become a household name can now take pride in their Sheffield heritage and become a pioneer in their craft, proving that Sheffield's music scene is far from fading. It's just getting started. Arco Dutta, This Week in Sheffield.
And now we're back to Pedlar Market. The Wingfest is the world's largest hot chicken wing festival, and for the first time ever last week it came to Sheffield. Held in the popular Kelham Island venue, the event saw many vendors and guests share their love for fried chicken wings. Max Assel has the story.
Thank you, Adam. We're here in the iconic Pedlar's Market to celebrate the first ever Sheffield Wingfest, the world's largest hot wing festival. So, why is it here in Sheffield today? We're going to go around and ask and find out some views.
My name is Richard. I'm 40 years old this year, and I'm the founder of Wingfest. With any Wingfest event, we like to promote local. So the customers here definitely want to try wings from other parts of the country, but what we're also trying to do is showcase local wing talent. So three of the traders at Wingfest are from Sheffield, and hopefully we're going to get a chance to show Sheffield what their local wing slingers can do. I also think it just adds to the culture of the city, particularly if you're a foodie. It makes foodie more interesting, the city food more interesting. And we only run 6 of these around the country, so if you want to come to a Wingfest, you have to come to one of those 6 destinations.
Wingfest has been around for over 10 years now, and this time is no different, with 10 independent stalls all coming together to celebrate all things wings. And this event by itself will sell over 90,000 chicken wings to customers. So, what do they think about the wings so far?
The wings.
I'm bloody chuffed, mate. I've been waiting for this my whole life, really. I'm chuffed. Chuffed.
Oh yeah, we're on the stuff with like Manchester and London, and they also have Wingfest and stuff.
Wingfest is ace. Anything to do with chicken wings, I'm there.
Oh, it's brilliant. The vibe's top class. You've got the best chicken wings around the country. You've got bars, music. Why wouldn't you want to be here? It's brilliant.
Oh God.
There's a lot of different wings, like different flavours of wings. Not what we expected. So we just had a chicken and waffle wing around the back, and it's like so filling. It's like dessert. It's so tasty, and there's a lot of that stuff here.
Similar to this, white and then blue on the side. Is that okay?
One of them.
Of course you can.
So now we know the effect of chicken wings has on people and the Steel City here. Back to you, Adam.
Last week, the Off the Shelf Festival, co-organised by the University of Sheffield, showcased an exciting and diverse lineup of literary events. From local rising stars to international authors, the festival explored a wide range of topics. It was a celebration of books, ideas and culture that captivated Sheffield's literary community. Joe Back reports.
The Off the Shelf Literature Festival is taking place across October and November, showcasing the very best of Sheffield's arts and culture, with talks from historians, poets, authors and many more.
This is so important. Festivals like this, any noise made about creativity and anything to do with making people connect to who they are and the people around them is only important. So having festivals, having exhibitions, having talk, having discussion, anything that we can keep, particularly in Sheffield, things moving and people paying attention to what we have here is so important. And particularly when you're pulling people from all frames of life, from different backgrounds, from across the globe to this place. It honours the integrity of Sheffield being a vessel and a homeland of creativity, which it is. It's just, I've always said it, we don't make a song and dance about ourselves. I think Sheffield's too humble of a place.
Each year, the University of Sheffield puts on events all around the city for everyone to give a try.
Bring, different writers and different talent to the city and exposes, us to them. It's a chance to meet and talk and learn. So yeah.
They make people think, and if people start questioning the ideas they have, that can only be a good thing.
Full spotlights, established names and rising talents, with plenty to offer for the general public and budding writers to get involved.
A festival that happens within Sheffield, and hosting an event like this where we get to learn about the Muslim community and also what happens within the media is really quite important. And as a host, I'm always honoured to have amazing people like that. A bit nervous always, but yeah, it's always fun.
Speaking your poetry is different, as the audience will see something how you want to express it, and I'm excited to sort of try and do that on the night.
This year has already seen Richard Ayoade, Sarah Pascoe and David Peace, with plenty more to come. I've been Joe Beck for This Week in Sheffield.
Now on Student Spotlight is the president of Sheffield Marrow, Jacob Davies. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you very much for having us.
So, could you tell me a little bit more about what you do?
So I'm the president of Sheffield Marrow, so we're the student branch of Anthony Nolan. And what Anthony Nolan is the stem cell register for the UK. So we sign people up to save lives with things like leukemia and myelodysplastic disorders and save lives in the UK.
Okay, and the register, what's the process of signing people up on that? Is it a difficult process?
No, so it's actually really easy. So we host clinics across campus. We have them in Goodwin, we have them in the IC. And when you see us there, we'll be there with a table, there'll be lots of volunteers. Come over and speak to us. When you sign up, simple process, all you do is just swab your cheeks. You get 3 swabs in both cheeks and on your gums. And then you fill out a form online. It takes about 5 minutes and then you're on the register.
That's great. And how did you start? How did you get involved?
Well, I actually started when I was in school, so I was the ambassador for my school. I did that for a year and then kind of left it there. Joined university and started playing rugby, and then I got injured and kind of found myself with a bit of a hole. I didn't really know what to do. And then Erin Dunn, our former president, came and spoke to us about what Anti-Nolan was, and it kind of felt like that was something I really wanted to get involved in. And then kind of took it from there. I did my first clinic in Goodwin, and then almost immediately joined the committee, and now I'm the president.
And how has this experience been for you, you know, in terms of what you do at university?
So I'm a dental student, and a lot of our volunteers are medical students, but not all of them are. We've got people from all different backgrounds, and I think it's really helped me contextualise a lot of the things I've learned in university, learning about these diseases, and now actually being able to make a difference more personally, I think has been very rewarding. I know for a lot of medical students, it helps them kind of connect with their patients a lot more when they can kind of see the process from start to finish. You see someone go on to donate, you see someone receive the transplant, and then you see ultimately someone's life being saved.
So I guess it has a large element of personal satisfaction from what you do.
Yeah, so a lot of our volunteers have personal experiences with leukemia, with blood cancers, and I know that definitely can inspire a lot of people. We get people come up to us and just thank us for what we've been able to do for them. Another interesting thing that we get to do is a year after someone goes on to donate, they have the option to then meet the person that they saved their life for, which I know has been incredibly rewarding for a lot of people. And we've had personal experiences being shared with us that really inspire us to keep doing what we're doing.
And what about diversifying the register? You know, what are you doing for that?
Yeah, so one of our main missions this year, especially as Sheffield Marrow, is to diversify the register. And what that means is sign up as many people from different backgrounds as possible. So in the UK, if you have a rare blood disorder and you need a stem cell transplant, if you're white Northern European, you have a 70% chance of making a 10 out of 10 match and finding a perfect person to have that transplant. If you come from an ethnic minority of any background that's not white Northern European, that number reduces 25%. And the only way that we can increase their chances, increase the odds of survival, is to sign up as many people from different ethnic backgrounds. It's also important that we sign up as many men as possible. Men are underrepresented on the register, and on average we are larger, we produce more stem cells, we're better donors, so it's important that we really get as many men involved. The way we're going to try and tackle this issue is usually we visit sports societies. We're big with rugby, with cheer, but this year we're really focusing on going towards the cultural societies and the religious societies to try and promote awareness within those community groups. I think often with things like religions, there are some taboos about donating stem cells, and it's really important that we break down those barriers. One way we're doing this is we're going to host a big multicultural event where we get different cultural groups, different religious groups in, and we're going to have speakers from CEOs who represent different groups to talk about, first of all, business and how and what they do, and then also about why it's important for them to join the register.
Have you held any events like that in the past, or is this a new thing?
So this is a bit of a new initiative for us. Traditionally, we've always targeted the sports groups, and we're very grateful for them for having us. So I know last year rugby were a real help for us. Same with cheer; they've always been big supporters for us. But this year we're kind of taking a different method of signing people up.
And what would you say to people who perhaps want to donate marrow or blood, but they have some fears, you know, or about what the process is like? What would you tell them?
Yeah, so this is one of our main issues that we have to really tackle, is this taboo around what donating your stem cell is like. It sounds like a really scary thing, and that's something that we really want to show you that it's not. So if you join the register, you'll stay on till you're 61. And in that time, you've got a 1% chance of ever being called up. 90% of those people that get called up, it's as simple as giving blood. So the blood comes out of your arm, it circulates back, and it even goes back into your arm, so you don't even lose any blood. It's a pretty painless procedure. It takes less than an hour. 10% of the time people go into general anaesthetic and they wake up with a bit of a groggy head, nothing worse than a hangover, nothing worse than a heavy session at the gym. The people that do have to go into the general anaesthetic are usually matched with someone like a really small child with a really aggressive and rare form of leukemia. So it's important that we get the most pure harvest of stem cells. So I think in that way it's one of those things where you might be going under a bit more of a complicated procedure, but it's definitely worth it in the long run.
And so how many people more or less are on the register as of now?
So Anthony Nolan signed up 900,000 people, just over 900,000 people. It's actually our 50th year anniversary this year, so that's something we're really proud of. We're really trying to hit 1 million sign-ups before we finish the year. We were actually the first stem cell register in the world. So 50 years ago, Shirley Nolan and her son Anthony went to the hospital and received the devastating news that he had a rare blood disorder. I think it was leukemia. And at the time, there was no options for him to go and look on a stem cell register. The only way they could do it was Shirley went out and personally went and signed as many people up to her own personal register, and that eventually became Anthony Nolan. She then inspired other countries to do the same thing. So I think there's now over 187 different registers across the world. So there's one in Germany, there's one in America, there's many in Asia, there's many in Africa. They're all across the world.
And across the UK, do you interact a lot with the other branches as well?
Yeah, so recently we had our annual general meeting. So we went to Leeds University and all the different Marrow groups from across the country came along. And we had talks from different people who've gone on to donate, different people who work in the research centres. And it was a really good opportunity to collaborate with different groups, hear about how they sign people up, how they've managed to raise money. And it was a really inspiring weekend.
Sounds really great. Is there anything else that you'd like to add about your experience and about the charity?
So what I'd like to say is more, if you're interested in getting involved in our charity, we are a charity at the end of the day, so anything you do for us, we appreciate. It's not something where you're signing up and then you're committing to running a clinic every week and being there 9 to 5. This is something that every little helps. We've got a really strong committee that like to come to every event, and we organise these events. And then a massive pool of volunteers, about 100 at the moment, who come to one event a year, or some people come to every event in the year. I think it's really important just to say that if you want to get involved, you don't need to be a medical student, you don't need to have any form of background in this, and you don't need to be committing yourself to a lifelong volunteering session. It's more about just helping out where you can, raising money where you can. If you're running a marathon, get us involved, and we can come and be your sponsor. We can pay for your admission fees, and then you can donate to us. So, yeah.
That sounds really good. Well, thank you so much for coming in. It's been really great talking to you.
Thank you very much for having us.
No worries at all. And I really wish you all the best, and I really hope that you guys get the 1 million registered and that it helps to spread the word. Now, that wraps up this week's episode of This Week in Sheffield. Don't forget to follow us on social media for updates. And if there's something happening in Sheffield that you think we should cover, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Husicka, and we'll see you next time with more of Sheffield's top stories. Bye for now.